in Gaza. On Saturday, French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot said France and Europe are ready to contribute to the protection of humanitarian aid efforts. Barrot's remarks come as international concern grows over deadly incidents at aid centres in Gaza. He condemned the loss of life, saying 500 people have died while simply trying to get food. France is calling for urgent measures to ensure aid reaches civilians safely. Barrot emphasised that any European-led effort must also address Israeli concerns about aid falling into the hands of Hamas. European leaders are now discussing how to play a more active role in stabilising aid operations. Paris says Europe has the expertise, capacity and moral responsibility to act. The European Union has already called for an independent investigation into attacks near food distribution points. France's position adds pressure on Israel to allow for international oversight and better coordination. As criticism mounts globally, Europe's voice is getting louder, demanding both safety for civilians and accountability from all parties involved. Rohan, we move on to this topic now. As you've mentioned briefly previously, these incidents at aid sites, the four that are in the Gaza Strip currently, we've seen over 500 reported deaths while people have been trying to get food from these Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid sites. Now we've all seen the visuals. These things look chaotic as people scramble to get the aid that they desperately need. European nations in particular have started opposing some of Israel's actions, imposing some small sanctions, whether that be on Israeli ministers and settlers and so on. Do you see Israel cooperating with Europe, with European nations on this ask for an independent investigation, or do you think the international pressure will not bow to the international pressure here?
Thomas, as you know very well, Israel is first concerned about its security interests. That is the highest priority. They want to neutralize any threat anywhere, especially in their immediate neighborhood after the 2023 attack. But at the same time, there is deep concern on the part of the European countries that Israel has not done its best to protect the Gaza population. So Israel will have to now take certain measures to ensure that those civilians who are running towards the food centers, the food convoys, are also protected. And I think that understanding and that realization is gradually percolating because of the most recent deaths. So within Israel also, there's a lot of pressure on the government to have a more humanitarian approach towards the civilians who are now in need of this food. So I believe that there will be a consensus and there will be a more positive movement. But what is important is that Israel has permitted the flow of these relief supplies, both from Europe and from the United States, and also funding from international agencies to feed the population in Gaza that has also suffered very significantly.
Rohan, thank you once again. We move on.